Hi, welcome to your 8th tutorial on HTML. Today we'll talk about how to insert audios and videos to our web page and some other extra things that we will also talk about. So first off, let's start off with opening Notepad and having our structure nested, as you remember from our previous lessons. And let's start off with the DFN tag. So, the DFN tag basically represents the defining instance of a term in HTML. The defining instance is often the first use of term in a document. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in DFN HTML and let's close our DFN tag. So by doing this, we'll basically get this HTML on our web page, and as you can see, it's in italics. Now let's add some text to it. So HTML is abbreviation let's just keep it at this and save, refresh, and as you can see, the rest of the text is just normal, it's not in italics. So next, let's add an attribute to DFN, which is title. If you remember from our old lessons, this will basically give us more information about it. So we'll type in hypertext markup language, as HTML is basically an abbreviation of this. And if we save and refresh, and if we hover over HTML, we'll now get some extra information, so basically what the word actually is. So besides the DFN tag, we can also have an ABBR tag, which is basically short for abbreviation. So type in ABBR and type in title again, equal sign to two quotation marks, and we're gonna type in the same things basically. So hypertext markup language and HTML, and let's close this. ABBR is you can copy it if you want to just make your job easier. And as you can see, it has like sort of an underline thing, and when we hover over it, we'll get the abbreviation in full. So just to have this more clear, I'll add in some BR tags, as you remember, which you should probably do too, as it will make your web page look cleaner and just nicer, and it won't be all messy and just everywhere. So next, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the object tag. So the object tag basically defines an embedded object. We can use the object tag to embed another web page into our document. Something like iframes, but it's a little bit different. So let's type in object, and let's say I want to add in a PDF file to my web page. What I'll do is I'll type in object and also the attribute data, and let's go into our folder, and so let's look for a PDF file which I have already saved. So englishbook.pdf. So let's type in englishbook.pdf, and we need to add in its type as well. So type in the type attribute, and as it's a PDF, we're going to type in application/PDF, and we're going to close this, and we're going to close our object tag as well. And if we save this, let me minimize this, go to our web page, we'll now get a small frame of our PDF file, and as you can see, it's all here and it's a book. So in the object tag, I'm just going to add in a width and height attribute. So let's type in width, and I won't give it too much width, I'll keep it at 500, and I'll add in some height, so 400. So it's a little bit bigger now, it should be, and here we go, here it is. And I'll add some BR tags as well, just to keep it clean and nice. We can also do the same thing with the embed tag. So what we can do is we can type in embed, and we can write src, so source, equal sign, two quotation marks, and let's write the same name, as it's the same thing essentially, englishbook.pdf, and we need to add in its type also. So we could have just copied the top thing, and I'm gonna type in the same thing, so it's application/PDF. And you must remember that embed does not have a closing tag. It's just a simple opening tag. So if we save this, we now have two of our PDF files. This one is slightly smaller as it's the embed tag and I haven't given it any width or height. So yeah, that's basically it. We can also add in stuff like audio, video, Java applets, ActiveX, PDF as we have here, and Flash. I'll just make my object tag a little bit smaller as it's using up a lot of space, as you can see, and I don't really need that, so we'll keep it small and simple. So as you can tell from the title, it's audio and video, so we'll talk about that. So HTML supports MP3, WAV, and OGG. So when you're adding music to, or any songs or any audio to your web page, please be cautious and please check out if it's MP3, WAV, or OGG. And videos are essentially just moving pictures. So we'll start off with audio first. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna type in audio, and this is the tag, by the way. Audio, and we're gonna write controls. So the controls are basically play, volume, pause, etc. You know, the controls of just normal audio buttons. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna type in a source tag and an src and equal sign, 2 quotation marks, and now let's go into our folder and let's say I want this mp3 song and its name is havana.mp3. What I'll do is I'll type in havana.mp3 and I'll give it a type attribute as well, as we need to clarify what kind of audio it is. So we're going to type in audio/mp3 as it's an mp3, and let's close our source and audio tags and let's save. Let's minimize my folder, refresh, and now as you can see I have this bar, and if I press play, this is what we'll get. I can just move it around, I can remove its sound, I can mute it if I want. There's also something called muted, which basically will mute your video or your audio. So let's continue, and I will give this some BR tags just so it will look nice. And I know I keep saying this, but you should probably do it as well. And now let's move on to adding links of audio. So there's this website for music, so I'll go onto it and let's say I want this, and as you can see it's playing now. And I'll stop it, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this link, and I'm also going to copy this whole audio controls tag, and I will paste it down here. And what I'll do is I'll change the source to that exact link, and as you can see it ends with OGG, so what I have to do is change this mp3 to OGG so it will be able to play on my web page. And let's save it, go back here, refresh, and now as you can see I have another little bar for music, and if I press play, as you can see it was playing fine, and I can move this around, I can mute it, I can even download it if I don't have it. And yeah, that's how we add in audio to our web page. So next let's move on to video controls. So it's basically the same thing, and it just video. So I'll type in video controls and we'll close this, and let me add some tabs here. We type in source, src, equal sign, 2 quotation marks, and let's go to our folder and let's find an mp4 link. So here I have video.mp4. Now what I'll do is I'll give my source a value, which is video.mp4, and we have to add in a type as well, so don't forget to do that. And we'll type in video /mp4, and we need to now close this. And if we save, and let's minimize out of here, and as you can see I now have this video, and it's really huge by the way, and I can play it. Here we go, here it is, it's playing, and it's really big. So to make it a little bit smaller, we go into video controls, and in the video tag we're gonna type in width, and let's change it to 200, and we're gonna type height, and we're gonna give this 300. Let's save this and refresh our page, and here we have a smaller version of our video. And to just make it nicer, we're gonna add some BR tags, and we're gonna add some here as well. And let's save, refresh, and here is our video, and I can move it around or whatever. And yeah, and let's move on to something else. So we can also add YouTube video address as well. So let's go to YouTube, and let's say I want to insert a video of Steve Jobs on my webpage. Let's say his first talk of announcing the iPhone. And what I can do is go into share, and as you can see there's an embed button here, so I'll click it. Let's copy this, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna paste it down here, and as you can see it's an iframe. So we've learned this before, you know how this works. So we can save it, and we can get it on our web page, and here it is, and I can play it, and here we go. Here's Steve Jobs announcing the first iPhone. So to make it nicer, we add a thematic break, which is basically a line through here, and I'll show you that right now. So that is the HR tag, and we're gonna give it a size attribute, and let's give the size a 3. So this is basically the thickness of it, so how thick it will be. It's not actually the size. And we're gonna type align, and we're gonna have it to the left so it looks nice, and we can give it a color attribute as well. So the color, let's just say pink for example, and we now close this, refresh. So as I have it after our iframe, which is this, it's now here. But if I want to separate these two videos from each other, what I can do is I can copy this and I can paste it here, so it will separate the two videos, so you'll know which is which. And here we go, here is our line separating these two from each other. And yeah, and I think we've touched up on this, but if you remember, our web pages or tables have headers and footers, and we have the body here. So what I'm gonna do is after body I'm gonna write header, so this will indicate the top part, if you know what I mean, so the heading part of my web page, which is gonna be this part. And I can add a footer tag as well, and in between we're gonna write address, and let's say Steve Jobs for example, address, and this will basically do this. And as you can see, it's in italic, so basically clarifies the address of the web page. And this part is basically the header. So these are sections in our document. So let's move on to something else. So if you remember an ordered list, we're going to be making one right now. So type in UL as you remember, and we close it. And in between we're gonna write some li tags, so li, and let's write text, and let's duplicate this using Ctrl+D a couple times. And what we can add to the UL tag is an attribute called content editable. So it's basically self-explanatory, so type in content editable =, 2 quotation marks, and type in true. And let's save it, refresh our page, And now as you can see at the bottom we have this list, and if we click on it we'll get this box, and we can edit out whatever we like. So if I don't want text to be in capitals, I can just write text in normal, and etc. You can just mess around with that. So let's close this, we don't need it, and let's do something else. Let's do the last thing for today. Type in img, so this is how we add an image if you remember. src source equals sign 2 quotation marks, and let's go into our folder, and I have an image here which is html8 pic.png, so I'll write that here, html8 pic.png, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to a link which is image map generator. So if you just write this, it will basically come up, or you can just copy what I'm doing, and this is basically an explanation of what we're gonna do. So we're gonna get HTML codes on our images. So let's click on image upload, and let's find our picture, which mine is this, and click on add area. And now let's say I want this HTML part, so I'm gonna click on this area, and as you can see it's here, and as you can see we get this code. So we copy this and we paste it after our image source. So here we have it. And let's come here, and as you can see the source is something completely different to our picture. So we type in the source that we want, which is html8 pic.png, as you can see above, and we can delete this as we don't need it. So for now let's save and let's refresh our page, and if we click on the selected area we'll just be taken to the top of our web page. So let's click on it for now. As you can see we came back to the very top. So if we want to go to a website, we type it just after href, and let's say I want to go to Google. You can type in whatever website that you'd like, so google.com, save, refresh, and let's click on HTML. We'll go to Google. So yeah, thank you for watching. That was today's lesson. See you next time.